Echoes of Valor, From the Shadows of War to the Triumph of Peace. Chapter 1. Prelude to Chaos. The ink flows across the page, mirroring the torrents of uncertainty that swirl within me. I write these words with a trembling hand, aware that they might be my final testament, the last remnant of my existence in this tumultuous world. For I stand on the precipice of a cataclysmic event, one that will redefine history and plunge us all into the depths of despair. The seeds of conflict were sown long before the first shots were fired. Tensions simmered beneath the surface, festering like an open wound, infecting the hearts and minds of nations. Diplomacy, that fragile illusion of peace, crumbled under the weight of greed, pride, and a lust for power. The solemn agreements forged in the aftermath of previous wars, once symbols of hope and unity, now lay discarded and forgotten. The signs were there, scattered like omens across the geopolitical landscape. The rise of extremist ideologies, the clamor for resources, the territorial disputes that ignited like sparks in a tinderbox, each thread entangled, weaving a tapestry of impending doom. Yet the world seemed oblivious, blinding itself to the gathering storm, content in its illusion of invincibility. But we, the soldiers, the guardians of our nation's honor, we saw through the facade. We felt the gathering storm in our bones, a primal instinct honed by the shadows of our predecessors. We knew the time for idle speculation had passed. Action was now our only recourse. Preparation was our mantra, etched into our very being. We trained relentlessly, honing our bodies to withstand the onslaught, sharpening our minds to be nimble in the face of chaos. We memorized maps, studied the strategies of great military minds, and embraced the wisdom of past battles. Our weapons became extensions of ourselves, our armor a second skin. We forged an unbreakable bond with our comrades, knowing that in the crucible of war their lives depended on our vigilance. And as the days turned into months, the whispers of war grew louder, penetrating every facet of our existence. News reports spoke of escalating tensions, political maneuverings, and the ominous buildup of military forces. The world held its breath, a collective gasp before the plunge into the abyss. Yet, despite the encroaching darkness, a flicker of hope remained. A hope that perhaps reason would prevail, that leaders would find common ground and spare us from the horrors of conflict. But with every passing day that flicker diminished, overshadowed by the grim reality that war was inevitable. I write these words not with bitterness or resentment, but with a heavy heart burdened by the knowledge of what is to come. For as I pen these lines, I stand on the cusp of the greatest challenge of my life. The battlefield awaits, a merciless arena where lives will be lost, families shattered, and dreams forever extinguished. My thoughts drift to loved ones left behind, their tear-stained faces etched in my memory. I yearn for the embrace of my parents, the laughter of siblings, and the warmth of a lover's touch. Yet duty beckons, calling me to fight for a cause larger than myself. In the midst of this chaos, I find solace in the company of my fellow soldiers. Together we share a camaraderie forged in the crucible of training, a bond that transcends bloodlines and backgrounds. We are a patchwork of individuals, united by a common purpose, to protect, to serve, to fight for the ideals we hold dear. The ink fades, the last words of this chapter drying on the page. It is a chapter that will soon give way to the deafening roar of war. But it is important to remember that we soldiers are not mere pawns in a game of power and conquest. We are not mindless instruments of destruction, but rather individuals who understand the weight of our actions. We bear witness to the consequences of war, the toll it takes on humanity. In the quiet moments before the storm, I reflect upon the world that might emerge from this cataclysm. Will it be a world scarred beyond recognition, where hope is but a distant memory? Or can we, through the crucible of conflict, forge a future that embraces peace, understanding, and compassion? The weight of responsibility rests heavy upon our shoulders. We carry the hopes of generations past, their sacrifices a reminder of the preciousness of freedom. We fight not for glory or personal gain, but for the belief that a better world is within our reach. As I write these final words before the battlefield claims my attention, I am filled with a mix of emotions, fear, anticipation, and an unwavering resolve. The unknown lies before me, its magnitude both daunting and exhilarating. It is a dance with destiny, where the steps are dictated by the chaos of war. To my comrades who stand beside me, I say this: we are soldiers, but we are also human beings. We carry within us the dreams, aspirations, and fears that make us who we are. Let us remember that our enemies, too, are human beings, molded by their own experiences and convictions. In the crucible of battle, let us not lose sight of our shared humanity. To those who will read these words, whether in the distant future or in the aftermath of the storm, I implore you to remember the lessons of history. Let the scars of our sacrifice serve as a reminder of the horrors of war, and let them ignite a collective determination to seek alternatives, to pursue dialogue and understanding over violence. And so I close this chapter, my final words etched upon these pages. The ink is dry, and the weight upon my heart lightens, replaced by a fierce determination to face the battles that lie ahead. May these words serve as a testament to the courage, the sacrifice, and the indomitable spirit of those who stand on the front lines, ready to defend what they hold dear. For in the darkness of war, even as we face our own mortality, there remains a glimmer of hope. Hope that someday, in a world scarred by conflict, we will find redemption. Hope that the final chapters of our collective story will be written in the language of peace, compassion, and love. Chapter 2. A Fractured Peace. The ink spills forth once again, carrying the weight of a world on the brink. These words, etched upon this page, bear witness to the unraveling of peace, the erosion of trust, and the relentless march towards conflict. It is a chapter stained with the blood of broken promises, a prelude to the chaos that will consume us all. In the wake of past wars, we had hoped for a world free from the shackles of violence, a world where lessons learned would guide our collective destiny. Yet the mirage of lasting peace proved to be nothing more than an illusion, shattered by the harsh realities of human nature. The seeds of discord, planted in the fertile soil of our vulnerabilities, sprouted with tenacity. Greed, ambition, and the thirst for power blinded our leaders to the consequences of their action. The fragile threads of diplomacy, painstakingly woven, were torn asunder by the winds of arrogance and self-interest. And so the delicate equilibrium that held nations in check began to crumble. Alliances strained, rivalries intensified, and the drumbeat of conflict grew louder with each passing day. The world became a stage for political posturing, a battleground of egos where compromise and understanding were sacrificed on the altar of nationalistic fervor. Treaties, once symbols of hope, were relegated to dust-covered shelves, gathering the weight of forgotten dreams. The ink that had given birth to these agreements faded, unable to withstand the eroding forces of time and indifference. The promises they held, like whispers carried away by the wind, dissipated into the void. In the face of mounting tension, the world found solace in the belief that reason would prevail, that the collective conscience of humanity would rise above the pettiness of conflict. But as the chess pieces of geopolitics were maneuvered with calculated precision, it became clear that reason had become a casualty of the unfolding drama. Diplomats danced on the tightrope of brinkmanship, their delicate steps echoing the fragility of peace. The language of negotiations grew increasingly hollow, drowned out by the rattle of sabers and the ominous silence of broken promises. The theatrics of diplomacy masked a deeper truth, a truth that whispered of impending doom, a truth that we soldiers understood all too well. As whispers turned into shouts, nations mobilized their forces, marshaling their military might like a storm gathering its fury. The drums of war resonated, echoing through corridors of power and reaching the ears of those on the front line. We, the soldiers, understood the language of war, the weight of its consequences. We knew that the tempest that brewed would test our mettle, challenge our resolve, and strip away the illusions we clung to. And so, in the shadow of this fractured peace, we prepared. We trained relentlessly, knowing that the battles we would face would demand our utmost courage and sacrifice. The knowledge of what awaited us weighed heavily upon our souls, yet we found solace in the unity of purpose that bound us together. But amidst the anticipation and fear, a flicker of hope remained, a hope that the lessons learned from the past would not be forgotten, that the tragedies of war would not be in vain. Perhaps, buried within the ashes of conflict, the seeds of a new understanding would take root, a collective yearning for a world where swords could be turned into plowshares, where the echoes of gunfire would be replaced by the harmony of peaceful coexistence. And as the ink begins to dry, I pause, knowing that the chapters to come will reveal a world torn asunder. It is a world where the consequences of a fractured peace will be laid bare, where the choices of leaders and the actions of individuals will shape the fate of nations. The tapestry of history, once woven with delicate threads of diplomacy, now hangs tattered, torn, and stained with the blood of broken promises. In the face of this gathering storm, the weight of uncertainty rests heavy upon our shoulders. We soldiers, the guardians of our nation's honor, feel the burden of responsibility like an ever-present weight, a constant reminder of the lives entrusted to our hand. We bear witness to the erosion of peace, the shattering of dreams, and the innocence lost to the merciless winds of conflict. Yet, in the midst of this darkness, a flicker of defiance burns within our hearts. It is a flame that refuses to be extinguished, fueled by the belief that even in the depths of chaos we can make a difference. We stand united shoulder to shoulder, brothers and sisters in arms, driven by a shared purpose, a collective resolve to defend what we hold dear. As I write these words, I think of the faces of those left behind, the families who wait anxiously for news, the loved ones who offer prayers for our safe return. Their hopes, their fears, their unwavering support provide the foundation upon which we draw strength. They are the anchor that keeps us grounded amidst the storm. But within the confines of this chapter I also find moments of reflection. I ponder the absurdity of war, the senseless cycle of violence that seems to repeat itself throughout history. We, the soldiers, are but pawns in a grand chessboard moved by the whims of leaders and the ambitions of the powerful. The battles we fight are not of our own making, yet we bear the brunt of their consequences. In the solitude of night, when the chaos subsides, the weight of our actions descends upon us. The echoes of fallen comrades reverberate through our souls, their spirits forever imprinted upon our hearts. We mourn their loss, their absence felt like a phantom limb, a constant reminder of the cost of conflict. And so we steel ourselves for the battles to come, knowing that the road ahead will be treacherous. The chapter of a fractured peace gives way to the relentless onslaught of war. The cacophony of explosions, the acrid stench of smoke, and the cries of anguish become the backdrop against which our fate will unfold. In this chapter I pen my final words before stepping into the crucible of conflict. I do so not with resignation, but with a flame of passion burning brightly within. We soldiers, warriors of conscience, understand the gravity of our choices. We fight not out of blind obedience, but out of a desire to protect, to defend, and to preserve the values we hold dear. As the ink dries upon this page, I stand resolute. My voice, one among many, is but a whisper in the storm. But let it be known that I write these words not as a soldier resigned to his fate, but as a testament to the indomitable human spirit. To those who will read these words, know that within the chaos there exists the potential for change. From the ashes of destruction, a phoenix can rise, carrying with it the hope for a future that embraces peace, justice, and compassion. May we learn from the lessons of this fractured peace, and may the chapters that follow reveal a path towards healing, understanding, and a world where the ravages of war are but distant memories. And so I take a deep breath, my hand poised above the page, ready to turn the chapter. With each stroke of the pen, I step closer to the battlefield, where the echoes of my final words shall mingle with the clamor of conflict. Chapter 3. Into the Abyss. The ink flows, tracing the contours of my thoughts as I delve into the depths of another chapter, the pages heavy with the weight of impending battle. The time has come to march into the abyss, where the horrors of war await, ready to test our resolve, our courage, and our very humanity. As I prepare to recount the events that unfolded, I am filled with a mixture of trepidation and grim determination. This chapter, like the ones before it, bears witness to the unforgiving nature of conflict. It is a chapter that will forever be etched in the annals of history, its words a somber reminder of the price we pay for our collective failures. The cacophony of war erupts with a deafening roar, drowning out the echoes of reason. The battlefield stretches before us like a vast, desolate landscape, scarred by the footprints of those who came before. The air hangs heavy with the acrid scent of smoke, the sharp tang of fear mingling with the metallic taste of anticipation. In the face of this maelstrom, we soldiers stand as a bastion of strength. Clad in armor, armed with weapons honed to a deadly precision, we march forward with unwavering determination. Our resolve is a shield, protecting us from the onslaught of doubt and fear that threatens to consume us. The chaos of battle engulfs our senses, blurring the boundaries between life and death, between friend and foe. The once familiar faces of comrades become indistinguishable, obscured by the haze of war. We fight not for personal glory or ambition, but for the lives of those standing beside us, for the ideals we hold dear. Amidst the chaos, glimpses of humanity flicker like fragile flames in the darkness. A wounded enemy, their eyes reflecting the same fears that haunt us, evokes a momentary pause, a fleeting reminder that we are all victims of circumstance. But duty calls, and the roar of battle drowns out the whisper of empathy, leaving only the stark reality of survival. The ebb and flow of the conflict becomes a symphony of violence, each movement orchestrated by the cold hand of fate. Lives are lost in an instant, dreams shattered like shards of glass. The ground trembles beneath the weight of the fallen, their sacrifice a stark reminder of the fragility of life. In the heat of battle, time loses its meaning, and the days bleed into one another, a relentless cycle of chaos and despair. Fatigue gnaws at our bodies, but the fire within us refuses to be extinguished. We press on, drawing strength from the bonds forged amidst the crucible of war, knowing that our resilience is born not from physical prowess alone, but from the unwavering conviction that we fight for a greater purpose. Yet, even amidst the horrors of war, moments of profound beauty pierce through the darkness. A sunrise on a battlefield, its golden hues painting the sky, serves as a brief respite from the brutality that surrounds us. The quiet moments, shared with fellow soldiers, where laughter cuts through the tension, provide a glimpse of the indomitable human spirit that refuses to be broken. But as the pages turn, a sense of weariness settles upon us. The toll of battle becomes evident in our tired eyes, in the scars etched upon our bodies, in the weight of grief carried within our hearts. The realization that the path to victory is paved with the bodies of the fallen weighs heavily upon us, threatening to erode the flickering flame of hope that sustains us. In the depths of this chapter I yearn for respite, for a moment of stillness amidst the storm. I long to grasp the hand of peace and pull it from the depths of chaos. But alas, the grip of war is unyielding, its tendrils reaching into every corner of our existence. We are caught in a relentless struggle, where each step forward is met with an equal measure of resistance. The battlefield becomes a canvas upon which the human spirit is tested and tempered. We witness acts of unimaginable courage as individuals defy the odds and rise above their own limitation. The camaraderie that binds us grows stronger with every shared hardship, forging bonds that transcend the boundaries of rank, nationality, and creed. But for every heroic act there are equal measures of tragedy and despair. The cries of the wounded echo through the night, a haunting reminder of the fragile nature of our mortality. The weight of loss settles upon us like a shroud as we mourn the fallen, their faces etched in our memories, their absence a void that can never be filled. In the midst of this chapter I find myself questioning the very essence of war. Is it an inevitable consequence of human nature, an expression of our darkest impulses, or is it a manifestation of our collective failure to find alternative paths to resolution? The answers elude me, lost amidst the cacophony of battle, buried beneath the rubble of shattered dreams. But amidst the turmoil, a glimmer of hope emerges. It is a spark fueled by the resilience of the human spirit, the unwavering belief that even in the darkest of times there is the potential for redemption. It is this flicker of hope that propels us forward, that drives us to endure the hardships and confront the horrors that surround us. As the ink flows upon this page, I am reminded of the faces of those we fight for, the innocents caught in the crossfire, the families torn apart by the ravages of war. Their voices, though silent, resonate within our souls, urging us to persevere, to fight not just for our own survival, but for the promise of a better world. In this chapter I bear witness to the depths of the human condition. I see the capacity for both unimaginable cruelty and unwavering compassion. It is a dichotomy that leaves me grappling with the complexities of our existence, questioning the very fabric of our humanity. But even as I confront these existential dilemmas, I remain steadfast in my duty. I stand shoulder to shoulder with my fellow soldiers, a beacon of resilience in the face of adversity. We fight not for the glory of conquest, but for the restoration of peace, for the preservation of the values that define us. And so, as I bring this chapter to a close, I do so with a heavy heart, burdened by the weight of the battles yet to come. The ink dries upon the page, capturing the anguish, the sacrifice, and the indomitable spirit of those who find themselves trapped within the tempest of war. May these words serve as a testament to the human spirit's capacity to endure, to find hope amidst the darkest of times. And may the chapters that follow reveal a path towards reconciliation, healing, and a world where the echoes of conflict are replaced by the harmony of peace. Chapter 4. Shattered Illusions. The ink spills forth once again, its steady flow mirroring the torrent of emotions that swirl within my heart. This chapter, like the ones preceding it, bears witness to the relentless march of war, to the shattered illusions that crumble beneath its weight. It is a testament to the fragility of our aspirations, the stark reality that drowns the dreams of a peaceful world. In the midst of conflict, the battlefield becomes a theater of contradictions. Beauty and destruction coexist, juxtaposed in a dance of paradoxical forces. The once serene landscapes are now scarred by trenches, cratered by bombs, and painted with the blood of fallen comrades. It is a canvas that reflects both the resilience and the darkest depths of our humanity. As I write these words, I am struck by the profound sense of loss that permeates the air. Each life extinguished is a flame snuffed out, leaving behind a void that can never be filled. The faces of the fallen remain etched in my memory, their names whispered like prayers, their sacrifices forever etched upon the altar of remembrance. In the heart of this chapter I find myself grappling with the realities of war, the futility of violence, the cycle of vengeance, and the profound sorrow that engulfs us all. The grand narratives of honor and glory crumble before my eyes, exposing the stark truth that war leaves no victors, only survivors scarred by the indelible marks of conflict. In the relentless onslaught of battle, the lines between right and wrong blur. The enemy becomes a faceless entity dehumanized by the rhetoric of war. But amidst the chaos, I am reminded that behind each uniform lies a story, a life torn apart by circumstance. They too bear the weight of loss, of sacrifices made in the name of their own ideals. Yet in this crucible of destruction, a flicker of hope endures. It is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the unwavering belief that even amidst the darkest of times, the light of compassion can still illuminate our path. Acts of selflessness and bravery, small as they may be, become beacons of humanity that guide us through the abyss. As I reflect upon the choices that led us to this chapter, I cannot help but feel a sense of anger, a righteous indignation at the forces that manipulate and exploit the vulnerabilities of nations. The causes of war are complex, intertwined with the webs of power, greed, and ideological clashes. The price we pay for these conflicts, however, is borne by the innocent, by those who have no stake in the grand designs of political machinations. In the face of such injustice, I am filled with a renewed determination. It is a resolve to not only fight for the safety of our comrades, but also for the voiceless victims of war, the children who are robbed of their innocence, the families torn apart by loss, and the communities shattered by the ravages of conflict. We bear witness to their suffering, and it fuels our commitment to seek a better world. The chapters that lie before us are uncertain, their pages blank and waiting to be written. But within the inkwell of possibility I find a glimmer of optimism. We have seen the darkest depths of war, and through the clarity of that experience we are compelled to forge a different path, a path where diplomacy triumphs over aggression, where empathy triumphs over aggression, where empathy triumphs over hatred, and where the lessons of history guide us towards a future free from the shackles of war. And so, with each stroke of the pen, I add my voice to the chorus of soldiers who dare to dream of a world reimagined. We soldiers, as the guardians of peace, understand the magnitude of our responsibility. We carry the weight of the world on our shoulders, knowing that our actions, our sacrifices, can shape the course of history. In this chapter we navigate the treacherous waters of war, driven not by blind obedience, but by an unwavering conviction, that we can make a difference. As we march forward, our footsteps resounding with determination, we confront the harsh realities of battle. The symphony of gunfire and explosions fills the air, a haunting reminder of the fragility of life. We witness the horrors of war etched upon the faces of those caught in its grip, innocent civilians, displaced families, and the weary soldiers on the opposing side. Each face tells a story of fear, of loss, of dreams shattered by the relentless pursuit of power. But amidst the chaos, the seeds of compassion take root. In the darkest of moments, acts of kindness and humanity emerge like fragile blossoms, pushing through the cracks in a war-torn landscape. We see the selflessness of medics risking their lives to save the wounded, the camaraderie that transcends borders as soldiers reach out to help their fallen enemies. These small acts become beacons of hope, reminding us that even in the midst of destruction, our humanity can prevail. In this chapter, I confront my own inner demons, the fear that gnaws at my core, the doubt that lingers in the shadows. I grapple with the contradictions of my role as a soldier, torn between the duty to protect and the weight of taking life. But in the crucible of war, I find solace in the unity of purpose, in the shared resolve to defend the values we hold dear. The passage of time loses meaning as we become absorbed in the rhythm of battle. Days blend into nights, battles merge into one another, and the boundaries between past, present, and future blur. Fatigue seeps into our bones, but we press on, driven by a sense of duty that surpasses physical limitations. We draw strength from the bonds forged in the crucible of conflict, knowing that we are never alone in this fight. And yet, as I write these words, I am acutely aware of the toll that war exacts upon our souls. The horrors witnessed, the lives lost, and the scars both seen and unseen leave an indelible mark upon us. We carry the weight of these experiences, a burden that only those who have stood on the battlefield can truly understand. It is a burden that will forever shape the course of our lives. In the depths of this chapter, I yearn for a different reality, a world where the pen is mightier than the sword, where conflicts are resolved through dialogue rather than bloodshed. I long for a future where nations come together not in competition, but in collaboration, where the pursuit of peace and justice unites us all. It is a dream that flickers like a candle in the wind, but one that we must hold on to with unwavering resolve. As I conclude this chapter, I am reminded of the sacrifices made by those who came before us. Their names may fade from memory, but their courage and conviction remain an eternal flame that guides us forward. We soldiers, bearers of hope amidst the chaos, continue to write our story with each passing day. May the pages that follow reveal a path towards healing, reconciliation, and a world where the ravages of war become a distant memory. May our voices, joined in unity, echo through the corridors of history, reminding future generations that even in the darkest of times, the light of compassion and peace can prevail. Chapter 5. The Price of Redemption. As the ink spills onto the page once more, I find myself at the threshold of a new chapter, Chapter 5, where the echoes of conflict intertwine with the yearning for redemption. It is here that I unravel the intricacies of war's aftermath, where the cost of our actions, both seen and unseen, comes to bear. In the aftermath of battle, the smoke of destruction clears, revealing a landscape forever transformed. The scars etched upon the earth mirror the wounds etched upon our souls. We bear witness to the ruins of once thriving cities, the remnants of lives shattered by the merciless grip of war. Amidst the rubble, we are confronted with the magnitude of our actions, the consequences of our choices. In this chapter, I delve into the complexities of rebuilding shattered lives and fractured societies. The road to redemption is paved with shattered illusions and bitter truths. We witness the resilience of those who rise from the ashes, rebuilding not just their homes but also their spirits, refusing to let despair define their future. Yet the cost of redemption is steep. We soldiers, scarred by the memories of battle, carry the burden of guilt, the weight of lives lost, of destruction wrought by our hands. We question the righteousness of our cause, searching for meaning amidst the chaos. The path to redemption is littered with difficult choices, and we must confront the shadows of our actions with unwavering courage. As I recount the stories of those affected by war's aftermath, I am confronted by the harsh reality of displacement and loss, families torn apart, communities fractured, and the dissonance of a world forever changed. The faces of refugees, haunted by the memories of their homelands, speak volumes of the human spirit's capacity for resilience, but also of the lasting wounds that war inflicts upon the innocent. In the pursuit of redemption, we soldiers become not just warriors, but advocates for healing and reconciliation. We seek to bridge the divides that were once forged in conflict, to mend the broken threads of trust and understanding. It is a journey that requires us to confront our own demons, to face the consequences of our actions with humility and a willingness to listen. Amidst the challenges of reconstruction, glimmers of hope emerge, illuminating the path to redemption. We witness the resilience of individuals and communities as they rebuild their lives, as they nurture seeds of peace amidst the ruin. It is through their unwavering determination that we soldiers find solace, knowing that our sacrifices were not in vain. But redemption is not a singular act. It is a collective endeavor. It requires the commitment of nations and individuals alike to address the root causes of conflict, to dismantle the structures that perpetuate violence and oppression. The pursuit of justice becomes intertwined with the pursuit of peace, and we soldiers stand at the forefront, guardians of a better future. In this chapter, I confront the duality of our existence, the scars that mark our bodies and souls, and the flicker of hope that resides within us. We soldiers, bearers of redemption's torch, strive to create a world where the ravages of war become a distant memory. We fight not just to end conflict, but to sow the seeds of lasting peace, where future generations may flourish without fear. As I bring this chapter to a close, the ink dries upon the page, capturing the complexities of redemption and the indomitable spirit that propels us forward. We soldiers, marked by the experiences of war, continue to write our story, one of resilience, empathy, and the unwavering pursuit of a world where the price of redemption is paid not in blood, but in the triumph of compassion. Chapter 6. Whispers of Hope. As the ink flows onto the page, Chapter 6 emerges, a chapter where whispers of hope echo through the ravaged landscapes of war. In the midst of chaos and despair, this chapter unravels the resilience of the human spirit, the unwavering belief that even in the darkest of times, hope can ignite the flames of change. In the aftermath of conflict, we bear witness to the shattered remnants of societies, where trust has crumbled and divisions run deep. But it is in this chapter that we uncover the transformative power of hope, the catalyst that propels individuals and communities towards healing and renewal. Amidst the scars of war, we soldiers become conduits of hope. We stand as beacons of resilience, carrying the belief that a better future is possible. As in the faces of children, their innocent eyes reflecting the promise of tomorrow, that we find the inspiration to persevere. We strive to create a world where their laughter replaces the cries of fear, where their dreams flourish unburdened by the weight of conflict. In this chapter, I bear witness to the tireless efforts of individuals and organizations committed to rebuilding shattered lives. Humanitarian aid workers, activists, and volunteers step forward, their hearts filled with compassion and a determination to make a difference. They work tirelessly to provide shelter, health care, and education, nurturing the seeds of hope amidst the desolation. In the midst of destruction, we uncover stories of resilience and triumph. We hear the voices of artists, poets, and musicians who refuse to let their creativity be silenced by the cacophony of war. Their art becomes a powerful form of resistance, a testament to the unbreakable human spirit. Through their creations, they invite us to reimagine the world, to envision a future beyond the confines of conflict. But hope does not emerge unchallenged. It faces the formidable adversaries of skepticism and despair. The scars of war run deep, and the road to healing is fraught with setbacks. Yet it is precisely in the face of adversity that hope shines brightest. It is the flicker of resilience that refuses to be extinguished, the determination to rise above the ashes and rebuild a world ravaged by violence. In this chapter, I grapple with the complexities of hope. It is not a passive longing, but an active force that demands courage and perseverance. It requires us to confront the past, to acknowledge the wounds that still fester, and to work towards reconciliation and forgiveness. It beckons us to challenge the cycle of violence, to build bridges where walls once stood, and to embrace the transformative power of empathy. Through the stories of individuals who have endured the harshest trials, I am reminded of the profound strength that lies within each human heart. They have survived the unimaginable, yet they refuse to let their spirits be broken. Their resilience serves as a testament to the indomitable nature of hope, the belief that even in the face of adversity we can rise, rebuild, and reimagine a future that transcends the shadows of war. As I pen the final lines of this chapter, I do so with a renewed sense of purpose. I am reminded that as soldiers we are not just warriors on the battlefield. We are agents of change, catalysts for hope. We carry within us the power to shape the narrative, to steer the course towards a world where the whispers of hope drown out the echoes of conflict. May the pages that follow tell tales of resilience, compassion, and unwavering determination. May the chapters to come reveal a path where hope blooms, where wounds heal, and where the dreams of a peaceful world are realized. Together we soldiers continue to write our story, a story of hope, resilience, and the unwavering pursuit of a better tomorrow. In this chapter, I encounter individuals whose unwavering belief in the power of hope transcends the boundaries of time and space. I am captivated by the stories of those who have dedicated their lives to fostering peace and reconciliation. From grassroots movements to international initiatives, their tireless efforts embody the resilience of the human spirit. I delve into the stories of former enemies turned allies as they confront the ghosts of their shared past. I witness the transformative power of dialogue and understanding as they bridge the chasms that once divided them. Through their example, I come to understand that hope is not a solitary endeavor. It flourishes when nurtured collectively, when diverse voices come together in pursuit of a common vision. In the wake of war's devastation, I am confronted by the pressing need for justice and accountability. I witness the pursuit of truth, the demand for reparation, and the desire to ensure that the horrors of the past are never repeated. It is a delicate balancing act, as the quest for justice must coexist with the imperative of reconciliation. But it is through this delicate dance that hope finds its footing, paving the way for a future where wounds can truly heal. As I recount the journeys of those who have risen from the ashes of war, I am reminded of the profound resilience of the human spirit. I am moved by the stories of individuals who, against all odds, refuse to surrender to despair. Their unwavering belief in a better future propels them forward, even in the face of unimaginable adversity. Their courage becomes a guiding light, illuminating the path for others who have lost their way. In this chapter, I also confront the harsh realities that threaten to extinguish the flame of hope. I witness the insidious forces of corruption, greed, and power that seek to undermine the pursuit of peace. But it is in the face of these challenges that hope shines brightest. It is the rallying cry that unites us in our shared struggle, urging us to resist, to persist, and to envision a future where justice and compassion prevail. As I bring this chapter to a close, I am reminded that hope is not a fleeting emotion, but a steadfast commitment. It requires us to be active participants in shaping the world we wish to see. It demands that we confront our own biases, prejudices, and preconceptions, and embrace the inherent worth and dignity of every human being. It implores us to listen, to learn, and to stand in solidarity with those who have been marginalized and oppressed. May the pages that follow be filled with stories of hope's triumph over despair, of healing overcoming hatred, and of unity prevailing over division. May we, soldiers of hope, continue to write our story, penning a future where the ravages of war become a distant memory, and where the indomitable spirit of humanity shines brightly, lighting the way towards a world of lasting peace. Chapter 7. Embers of Resurrection. As I dip my quill into the inkwell, Chapter 7 takes form. A chapter that delves into the resolute spirit of humanity, the embers of resurrection that ignite amidst the remnants of conflict. It is in this chapter that I explore the transformative power of rebuilding, both physically and within the depths of our souls. In the wake of destruction, I am confronted by the daunting task of rebuilding shattered lives and fractured communities. The scars left by war run deep, but it is in this chapter that I bear witness to the extraordinary resilience of the human spirit. Through the tireless efforts of individuals and organizations, we see the emergence of a new dawn, a testament to the indomitable nature of the human will. I journey through the landscapes marred by battle where once vibrant cities now lay in ruins. Yet, amidst the rubble, seeds of hope take root. I witness the resilience of architects and engineers who painstakingly reconstruct the physical structures that were torn asunder. Their labor is not merely about rebuilding infrastructure. It is a declaration of defiance, a refusal to surrender to the forces of destruction. Each brick laid and beam erected becomes a symbol of resilience and the belief in a brighter future. But the process of rebuilding extends far beyond the physical realm. In this chapter, I delve into the emotional and psychological wounds inflicted by war. I encounter survivors haunted by their past, burdened by memories that refuse to fade. I witness the power of counseling, therapy, and community support as they provide the tools for healing and restoration. It is through these acts of compassion that we begin to mend the broken pieces of our collective humanity. In the journey of rebuilding, I encounter the strength of community and the power of collective action. I witness neighbors coming together to lift each other up, to rebuild not just their homes, but also the bonds of trust that were fractured by conflict. The resilience of communities becomes the bedrock upon which hope is nurtured. It is through their unity that they rise from the ashes, weaving a tapestry of interconnectedness that sustains them through the trials of reconstruction. In this chapter, I am also confronted by the complexities of reconciliation. I witness the delicate dance between forgiveness and justice as individuals and communities seek to find a balance between accountability and healing. It is through dialogue and understanding that wounds begin to mend, and bridges are built across the divides that once seemed insurmountable. The path to reconciliation is arduous, but it is in these challenging moments that we uncover the true depths of our capacity for transformation. Amidst the arduous task of rebuilding, I encounter stories of hope that transcend the boundaries of time and place. I witness the revival of cultural heritage, the rekindling of artistic expression, and the preservation of traditions that bind communities together. These acts of cultural resurgence become beacons of hope, reflecting the enduring spirit of a people determined to reclaim their identity and rebuild a future founded on the rich tapestry of their history. As I conclude this chapter, I am reminded that the process of resurrection is not a linear one. It is a winding path with unexpected twists and turns, marked by setbacks and triumphs. But it is in the face of adversity that the embers of resurrection burn brightest. We soldiers, torch-bearers of hope, continue to write our story, one of rebuilding, renewal, and the unwavering belief that from the ashes of destruction, new life can emerge. May the pages that follow bear witness to the unwavering resilience of the human spirit, the triumph of compassion over hatred, and the blossoming of communities as they rise anew. May we, the architects of resurrection, continue to pen a future where the scars of war are transformed into symbols of strength, where the echoes of conflict are replaced by harmonious melodies of unity and peace. In this chapter, I delve deeper into the transformative power of individual stories of rebirth and renewal. I encounter survivors who refuse to be defined by their past, who rise above their circumstances with unwavering determination. Their journeys become testaments to the human spirit's capacity for resilience and reinvention. Through their triumphs, I witness the power of hope, the flame that flickers within each of us, urging us to rise and rebuild. Among the stories of personal resurrection, I encounter the extraordinary efforts of grassroots initiatives and international organizations working hand in hand to foster sustainable development in war-torn regions. These tireless agents of change bring life back to forgotten communities, providing access to education, healthcare, and livelihood opportunities. Their unwavering commitment ignites a ripple effect of transformation, spreading hope and empowering individuals to reclaim their agency. In the process of rebuilding, I witness the intersection of technology and resilience. Innovators and inventors utilize their skills to bridge gaps, offering sustainable solutions to challenges faced in post-conflict environments. From clean energy initiatives that restore power to war-ravaged regions to sustainable agriculture projects that breathe life into barren lands, these pioneers harness the power of innovation to foster a brighter future. Their endeavors illuminate the path towards a sustainable and resilient world. Yet, the path of resurrection is not without obstacles. In this chapter, I confront the deep wounds of trauma and the ongoing struggles faced by individuals and communities. I witness the profound psychological and emotional toll that war inflicts, leaving scars that extend far beyond the physical. It is essential to recognize the importance of mental health support and trauma-informed care in the process of rebuilding. Only by addressing these deep-rooted wounds can we pave the way for true healing and sustainable progress. As I traverse the landscapes marked by devastation, I encounter the power of international solidarity. Nations and communities from across the globe join hands, providing humanitarian aid, fostering partnerships, and standing in solidarity with those affected by war. Through these acts of compassion, borders dissolve, and the bonds of humanity grow stronger. It is through collaboration and mutual support that we sow the seeds of lasting peace, leaving behind a legacy of unity and understanding. In the closing pages of this chapter, I am reminded that the journey of resurrection is ongoing. It is not confined to a single moment in time, but rather a continuous process of growth and renewal. We soldiers, the custodians of hope, continue to push forward, writing a narrative of resilience, compassion, and unwavering belief in a world reborn from the ashes. May the chapters that follow be filled with stories of triumph over adversity, where the embers of resurrection continue to burn brightly. May our collective efforts to rebuild and restore create a world where the scars of war become reminders of our strength and resolve. Together we write the story of humanity's resilience, a story that illuminates the path to a future where peace prevails and the echoes of conflict are replaced by the harmonious symphony of a world reborn. Chapter 8. Seeds of Peace. With a sense of purpose and determination, I turn my attention to Chapter 8, a chapter that explores the profound significance of peace, the seeds of hope sown amidst the tumultuous aftermath of war. In this chapter, I delve into the transformative power of reconciliation, forgiveness, and the pursuit of a world free from the shackles of violence. In the wake of conflict, I witness the devastating impact war leaves on the human spirit. The scars of violence run deep, both physically and emotionally. However, it is in this chapter that I uncover the remarkable resilience of individuals and communities as they embark on the path towards peace. They become the catalysts of change, breathing life into the dormant seeds of hope, nurturing them with compassion, and striving to create a future where harmony reigns supreme. In the pursuit of peace, I encounter the brave individuals who rise above the ashes of hatred and vengeance. They embody the transformative power of forgiveness, recognizing that it is not an act of weakness, but an act of immense strength. Through their stories, I witness the profound healing that forgiveness brings, releasing the burden of pain and allowing the seeds of peace to take root. Their acts of reconciliation become beacons of hope, guiding us towards a future where the cycles of violence are broken. In this chapter, I also confront the complexities of rebuilding trust in the aftermath of conflict. I witness the delicate dance between justice and forgiveness as communities seek to navigate the path towards reconciliation. It is a fragile process requiring open hearts, empathy, and a willingness to listen and understand the experiences of others. Through dialogue and genuine engagement, the seeds of trust begin to sprout, fostering an environment where peace can flourish. Amidst the rubble of war, I am inspired by the tireless efforts of peace builders and diplomats who work tirelessly to foster dialogue, mediate disputes, and facilitate reconciliation processes. Their unwavering commitment to finding common ground and bridging divides becomes a beacon of hope in a world scarred by violence. They plant the seeds of peace in the hearts and minds of individuals, nurturing them with patience and resilience, believing in the possibility of a future defined by cooperation and understanding. In this chapter, I also bear witness to the transformative power of education and cultural exchange in building bridges of peace. I see classrooms where children from different backgrounds come together, learning side by side, breaking down barriers, and fostering empathy. I witness the power of art, music, and literature to transcend cultural boundaries, creating spaces for dialogue and celebration of our shared humanity. Through these avenues, the seeds of peace are cultivated, nurturing a generation that aspires for a world free from conflict. However, the road to peace is not without its challenges. I encounter the shadow of extremism and the forces that seek to perpetuate violence and division. In this chapter, I confront the harsh realities of extremism and the need to address its root causes. It is only by understanding and dismantling these ideologies that we can cultivate an environment where peace can truly take root and flourish. As I pen the final lines of this chapter, I am filled with a renewed sense of purpose. I recognize that the seeds of peace are not ephemeral, but rather resilient and enduring. They require collective action, a commitment from individuals, communities, and nations alike. It is through our collective efforts, our unwavering belief in the possibility of peace, that we can nurture these seeds, allowing them to grow and blossom into a world where conflict becomes a distant memory. May the pages that follow be filled with stories of reconciliation, forgiveness, and the triumph of peace over violence. May the chapters to come reveal a path where the seeds of peace take root in the hearts of all humanity, where compassion and understanding guide our interactions, and where the echoes of gunfire are replaced by the harmonious symphony of coexistence. In this chapter, I delve deeper into the stories of those who tirelessly sow the seeds of peace, nurturing them amidst the debris of war. I encounter individuals and communities who refuse to be defined by the scars of conflict, dedicating their lives to breaking the cycle of violence and fostering reconciliation. Among the stories of peace-building, I witness the remarkable strength of grassroots movements. From small communities to global networks, these ordinary individuals become extraordinary catalysts for change. They engage in dialogue, build bridges, and inspire others to join their cause. Their efforts may start small, but their impact ripples far beyond their immediate surroundings, transforming lives and generating a collective movement towards a more peaceful world. In the pursuit of peace, I also explore the critical role of women in conflict resolution and reconciliation. I encounter the brave women who rise above societal norms and take up the mantle of peacemakers. Their voices, often silenced during times of war, become powerful instruments for change. Through their resilience, compassion, and determination, they challenge the status quo and pave the way for a more inclusive and sustainable peace. Within this chapter, I encounter the transformative power of truth and reconciliation commissions. These platforms for truth-telling provide opportunities for individuals to share their experiences, seek justice, and begin the healing process. They facilitate a collective reckoning with the past, acknowledging the pain and suffering endured by victims and survivors. Through this process, the seeds of healing and understanding are sown, offering a glimmer of hope for a future where justice and peace walk hand in hand. As I journey further into the realm of peace, I witness the importance of fostering interfaith dialogue and understanding. I encounter individuals and organizations that bridge religious divides, promoting tolerance and celebrating the shared values of compassion, justice, and love. By recognizing our common humanity and respecting diverse spiritual traditions, we create a fertile ground for the seeds of peace to grow, transcending religious differences and fostering harmonious coexistence. However, the path to peace is not without obstacles. I confront the remnants of deep-rooted prejudices, biases, and the challenges of addressing structural inequalities. I witness the urgency of dismantling systems that perpetuate violence, discrimination, and marginalization. It is only through addressing these underlying issues that we can lay a solid foundation for lasting peace. In the closing pages of this chapter, I am reminded of the immense power that lies within each of us. We hold the seeds of peace within our hearts and hands, and it is our collective responsibility to nurture them. The journey towards peace requires us to embrace empathy, compassion, and understanding, to transcend the boundaries that divide us and find common ground. As I set down my pen, I am filled with a renewed sense of hope. The stories within this chapter remind me that the seeds of peace can grow even in the most barren of landscapes. They remind me that peace is not an abstract concept, but a tangible reality that can be cultivated through our collective actions and unwavering commitment. May the chapters that follow be filled with stories of reconciliation, empathy, and the triumph of peace over violence. May the seeds of peace continue to germinate and flourish, transforming our world into a garden of harmony and understanding. Together we write the story of a future where the legacy of war becomes a distant memory, and the blossoms of peace adorn the tapestry of human existence. Chapter 9. Bridges Across Divide. With a mix of anticipation and trepidation, I embark on Chapter 9, a chapter that explores the power of bridging divides, of forging connections across seemingly insurmountable barriers. In this chapter, I delve into the transformative potential of dialogue, empathy, and understanding as we strive to build bridges that span differences and unite humanity. In the aftermath of conflict, I witness the deep-seated divisions that permeate societies. Lines are drawn based on ethnicity, religion, nationality, and ideology, fueling a cycle of animosity and distrust. But it is in this chapter that I encounter individuals who defy these divisions, who possess the courage to cross bridges and seek common ground. I delve into the stories of peacemakers who understand that change begins with human connections. They initiate conversations, break down stereotypes, and challenge preconceived notions. They seek to understand the perspectives of those on the other side, and foster empathy and compassion. Through their efforts, they reveal the shared experiences, hopes, and dreams that unite us all. Within this chapter, I witness the power of intercultural exchange and dialogue. I encounter initiatives that bring people from different cultures, backgrounds, and worldviews together, encouraging mutual understanding and appreciation. Through shared experiences, we begin to see the beauty in our diversity, and the walls that divide us start to crumble. These interactions become opportunities for growth where bridges are built and unity flourishes. In the pursuit of bridge building, I explore the significance of education in nurturing empathy and fostering a culture of understanding. I witness classrooms where children are taught not only academic subjects, but also the value of compassion, tolerance, and respect for others. It is through education that we lay the foundation for a generation that sees beyond differences, appreciates diversity, and actively works towards a more inclusive and peaceful world. In this chapter, I also confront the importance of addressing the underlying grievances that fuel conflicts. I witness the power of reconciliation processes that give voice to marginalized communities and provide avenues for redress. By acknowledging historical injustices and working towards equitable solutions, we create space for healing and the potential for lasting peace. As I delve further into the realm of bridge building, I encounter the role of media and technology in shaping narratives and fostering understanding. I witness the power of storytelling and media platforms to amplify diverse voices and promote dialogue. When used responsibly and ethically, media becomes a powerful tool for dismantling stereotypes, challenging biases, and highlighting the shared humanity that unites us all. However, building bridges requires not only efforts at an individual level, but also political will and institutional change. I confront the need for inclusive policies that promote social justice, equality, and human rights. Governments and international organizations play a crucial role in creating environments where bridges can be built, where marginalized voices are heard, and where conflicts are resolved through peaceful means. In the closing pages of this chapter, I am reminded of the transformative potential that lies within each of us. We have the power to be bridge builders, to extend our hands across divides, and to engage in meaningful dialogue. By actively seeking understanding, challenging our biases, and embracing empathy, we can dismantle the walls that separate us and foster a culture of unity and cooperation. As I conclude this chapter, I am filled with hope for a future where bridges are not mere metaphors, but tangible structures that connect hearts and minds. May the chapters that follow be filled with stories of bridges being built, connections being forged, and the triumph of understanding over division. Together we have the power to create a world where bridges span the deepest divides, where our shared humanity unites us, and where peace becomes an enduring reality. Chapter 10. A Legacy of Peace. With a mix of nostalgia and anticipation, I reach the final chapter of this journey, a chapter that encapsulates the culmination of resilience, hope, and the unwavering pursuit of peace. In Chapter 10, I delve into the transformative power of collective action, reflecting on the legacy we leave behind as we strive to build a more peaceful world. As I traverse the landscapes scarred by conflict, I witness the triumphs and tribulations of individuals, communities, and nations who have dedicated their lives to peace-building. In this chapter, I encounter the transformative potential of grassroots movements, international cooperation, and the indomitable spirit of humanity. I delve into the stories of communities that have risen from the ashes, rebuilding their lives, their infrastructure, and their social fabric. They become beacons of hope, demonstrating that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit has the capacity to heal and thrive. Their resilience inspires us to persevere, to never lose sight of our shared vision for a better world. In this final chapter, I witness the power of diplomacy and international cooperation in resolving conflicts and fostering lasting peace. I encounter peace negotiations where diplomats, mediators, and stakeholders come together committed to finding common ground and seeking solutions that transcend differences. Through dialogue, compromise, and a shared commitment to peace, they lay the groundwork for a more harmonious future. Within these pages, I also explore the importance of sustainable development as a pathway to peace. I witness communities empowered with the tools and resources necessary to thrive. Education, healthcare, economic opportunities, and environmental sustainability become the cornerstones of progress. By addressing the root causes of conflict, we create an environment where peace can take root and flourish. As I delve deeper into this chapter, I encounter the power of youth in shaping the trajectory of peace. I witness the passion, energy, and innovative ideas that young people bring to the table. They challenge the status quo, ignite conversations, and inspire change. Their voices become catalysts for transformation, urging societies to embrace inclusivity, justice, and sustainable peace. In the pursuit of peace, I also confront the importance of addressing the underlying issues that fuel conflicts. Poverty, inequality, political instability, and the erosion of social cohesion must be addressed to create an environment conducive to lasting peace. It is through comprehensive approaches that tackle these challenges head-on that we pave the way for a more just and peaceful world. In the closing pages of this chapter, I reflect on the collective legacy we leave behind, a legacy defined by our commitment to peace, compassion, and understanding. Each story shared, each bridge built, and each conflict resolved becomes a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. The echoes of our efforts resonate through time, inspiring future generations to continue the journey towards a more peaceful world. As I set down my pen, I am filled with a profound sense of gratitude for the privilege of witnessing the transformative power of peace. The narratives woven within these pages reflect the triumphs and challenges, the pain and the healing, and ultimately, the unwavering belief in humanity's capacity for change. May the chapters that follow, in the annals of history, be filled with stories of a world where peace reigns supreme. May the legacy we leave behind be one of unity, compassion, and justice. And may the collective efforts of individuals, communities, and nations continue to pave the way towards a future where conflicts are resolved through dialogue, where understanding triumphs over division, and where the pursuit of peace becomes the guiding force of our existence. In the final words of this story, let us remember that we are the authors of our destiny, and with unwavering resolve we shall etch a legacy of peace upon the fabric of time itself.